The Cafferty file. Jack joins us from New York. Hi, Jack.
I'm stumping with Mickey Mouse, John. It looks like family values aren't the campaign issue they used to be. USA Today reports that in this election cycle, so-called family values are lower on the agenda. Of course, Republicans have made family values a staple of their political campaigns for 3 decades now. But in this current campaign, Mitt Romney is virtually alone in stressing that issue. USA Today Gallup poll shows that although most voters say that family values in general are important to them, they don't care all that much about the candidates' personal lives. There are several reasons for the change, including cultural shifts in society and the backgrounds of several of the current Republican candidates. Rudy Giuliani, John McCain, and Fred Thompson have all been married and divorced and remarried. There's also the importance of issues like the war, terrorism, and the economy. One Republican strategist says today's atmosphere has been shaped by a series of traumatic events, the 9/11 attacks, Hurricane Katrina, and the Iraq War. He says in the 1980s and 90s, the perfect shot was the candidate, the spouse, the kids, and the dog. In the 21st century, it's all about action. It's all about getting things done. So here's the question. What does it say about the U.S. in 2007 if family values have lost their punch as a campaign issue? Email us at CaffertyFile@CNN.com or go to CNN.com/CaffertyFile where you can post a comment on my blog. John.
Interesting question. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Jack.
In this hour, what does it say about the U.S. in 2007 if family values have lost their punch as a campaign issue? Randall writes, people have finally figured out what family values was just a red herring, a Republican bumper sticker slogan which was used to keep people from paying attention to the real issues, i.e. the Iraq War, the skyrocketing deficit, the recession we're in, a lack of single-pay health insurance for everyone, and a government that has never worked for the people but only for the military-industrial complex and for big business. Darrich in New Jersey writes, it means the citizens of this country are looking for a more pragmatic leader, not one who's going to preach to us about our values and what they should be. Leave that to us. We're smart enough to figure that out on our own. Richard in Alabama writes, just look back at what we got in 2000 when the courts gave us a family values president. We just can't afford another 8 years of family values. Paul in Brooklyn, hopefully it says the American public's begun to awake from their slumber and are realizing that saying you are for family values and actually having them are two different things. Maybe having a president who vetoes health care for children, congressmen that cruise airport restrooms and molest children and adolescents, spiritual leaders who do drugs with gay male prostitutes, etc., have finally taken their toll. Well, it's the Christmas season. We can hope, can't we? Daryl in Oregon, it says we finally figured out that family values start with the family, not the government. There's very little government can do to affect family values, although keeping our mothers and fathers home with their families rather than sending them into a stupid war might help. And Mike in New York writes, the Republican charade is over. We found they have many families and no values. John.
Thank you, Jack.